Hey everybody.
Hey. So, Beverly Whipple here, your tattooed realtor, and I'm here with...
Mike Bringhurst. Good to be with you, Beverly.
Thank you. And Mike, where do you work?
Patriot Home Mortgage. I'm a loan officer. Me and Beverly have known each other for several months now.
A couple minutes anyway.
She just got here. No, we're just in an effort, we just want to educate people, just always educating with real estate and mortgages. So that's what the video is about. So we were just barely talking this morning about different types of ways to structure mortgage loans. Beverly had some questions and we just thought we'd share them with you guys.
I do. So in real estate, people are always talking about, I have to bring so much money down, or my debt to income ratio, and all these terms get thrown around, and there's one that gets thrown around frequently, which is PMI. So what is PMI? Can you shine some light on that for me and for my clients and customers?
Yep. So PMI stands for Private Mortgage Insurance, and historically, if you put anything less than 20% down, that typically means you need to pay a type of mortgage insurance.
Why?
And that's because statistically, you are more likely to default on the mortgage if you put less than 20% down.
Okay.
So it's literally insurance to the lender that if you default, they're insured, the amount of the loan that you defaulted on.
Okay.
It doesn't really help you in any way, though. You still foreclosed and your credit was destroyed, but it helps you in the sense that you're eligible for a loan with less than 20% down. So that's a positive.
Okay. So with that, what are the options? You're saying I don't have to bring in 20% down. What are the options, and how much is this mortgage insurance?
Yeah. So 20% down, no mortgage insurance is the goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, there's two different main types of loans, and it's different with each one. If you do an FHA loan, which is 3.5%, you have mortgage insurance for the life of the loan.
Okay.
It is what it is, and it will never go away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a percentage of your loan amount. It's 0.85% of your loan amount.
Okay.
And then you divide that by 12 to get the monthly fee that's part of your mortgage payment.
That you'll never get away from.
And you never get away from it unless you refinance out of the loan in the future. So if you have an FHA loan, you want to get out of it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But then with conventional mortgages, there's different options. You can always pay a monthly mortgage insurance amount, which is good. It's really there. It's a set percentage of your loan amount like FHA, but it changes depending on what your credit score is, what your down payment is, what your debt to income is. It can be more or less expensive to each individual buyer. But then there's two other unique ways that not a lot of people know about.
Okay, let's hear.
There's such a thing called an upfront mortgage insurance premium.
Okay.
And what that is let's say you put, on a $100,000 loan or house, 20% down is $20,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could put, let's just say, 10% down or $10,000. To get to the next 20, you need another 10.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the option to buy out mortgage insurance.
Okay.
Pay it all off up front. And I won't throw out a specific real number, but an example would be pay $2,000 to get rid of your mortgage insurance.
Okay, which is a lot less than the extra $10,000.
It's less than the extra 10, and you get the same result. The reason I don't have a specific number is it's case by case. It depends on your credit score, how much you put down. Like, what if you could have the same type of thing if you put 8% down, or 12, or 15, or even 5. So that's so beneficial. It's still better to put a full 20 because your loan amount's less, and that makes your payment less. But the thought out there that people think that you need to have 20% down to not pay mortgage insurance is false.
Get rid of that.
You can get rid of it in other ways. The last way, which I don't recommend hardly ever, is you can take a higher interest rate, and that higher rate gives the lender more money, and they cover that mortgage insurance for you. And so sometimes that monthly fee with the payment is more than a higher rate without the monthly fee.
Okay.
So your monthly payment, even though the rate's higher, your monthly payment's lower because that mortgage insurance isn't there.
Okay.
One other thing I'll share is, how do you know which one you should do? Mortgage insurance on conventional loans does drop off eventually.
Okay.
So if you're going to live in your home for 30 years, you probably shouldn't do lender paid mortgage insurance with the higher rate. And it may not be best to do an upfront premium because that money just went towards nothing.
Yeah.
Really, you would want your loan officer to say, like, okay, in this scenario, this is why this scenario would be best. If that fits you, then do it.
Yeah.
If this fits you, then do it. And that's what real mortgage consulting is all about.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
It does, and I hope that it makes sense for everybody out there. So essentially, you don't have to come in with 20% down. There are different options, but without the 20% down, you're going to be looking at the PMI. But with that, there's also options there. So it all depends on, hopefully, if you're not working with Mike, you've got a great lender working behind you that can answer some of these questions. If they're not working with you, heaven forbid, what are some questions that they could ask their mortgage officer to determine, which program they should go with, or the best, getting the best deal for them?
Yeah, so it's such a good question.
Those are the only kind I ask.
Yeah, so just that basic verbiage of go to your loan officer and say, hey, what mortgage insurance options do I have other than monthly mortgage insurance?
Okay.
Can you send me an email with the full breakdown of all options?
Great.
And when you work with Beverly and I, what you'll experience is Beverly gives me a bunch of very good information on the specific house, and then I will create a spreadsheet, and I prefer to show it to my clients on my computer in person, but sometimes I email it to them if they're out of town, and it'll have like 4 or 5 options of like different types of payments associated with different amounts of money that they brought to the table. And it's just really easy to look at. You look at each one and it's like, oh, I love that payment, let's do that one.
Yeah.
Because there really are different options with payments.
Yeah, for sure, and everybody's different. So thank you, that was very helpful. Was there anything else you can think of that might be helpful in this situation?
Just this general concept that there's more to the mortgage and to the buy, that it's not black and white.
It really isn't.
Like, if you think I can't buy because of this thing in my head, you should clarify that with an expert, because that thing in your head might not be true in your scenario.
It's true. So often I get people, when I ask them about real estate, they're looking for rentals. I get a lot of rental questions these days, and I'll ask, have you thought about buying? Well, I have, but the market's so high and my credit score is so bad. And so my follow-up question is, well, have you met with a lender? Do you know how bad your credit score really is? Because a lot of time people don't know. So that's a service that you provide,
yes.
right?
Yep.
So someone comes in, they may not be ready to buy, but they may be ready to buy. You're able to check their credit and give them, some, or refer them to somebody who can repair credit if they need to. But you have to find out one way or the other, and that's how you do. You come, you meet with Mike, and he'll give you some detailed information on, can you buy? If so, how much? Where are your comfort zones, and things like that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, and you can call and text me, 435-705-1857. Mike, how do they get a hold of you?
Well, you should come by my office on Bluff Street, or call me at 435-256-0275.
Awesome. Okay, well, if anybody has any questions, write them down in the comments, and Mike and I can address them at another video another time. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday.
Yep, thanks.
All right.
Thank you, Beverly.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.